Alright guys, we're finally back with another video. It has been quite a while and we've done a few changes to the truck. As you can see, windows look a little darker, wheels maybe look a little different. Anyways, we're going to cover all that. And for those of you new here, we're also in this video going to be doing kind of a pretty brief walkthrough of everything that I have in this truck as far as what all I've done, every single change I've made to it. Because I haven't done like an update video, and I've got a few new subscribers, which if that's you, thank you by the way, and thank you for the folks who are hanging in there with me. We are in the middle of moving, little preface, me and my wife actually, from this location here, so that's one of the reasons why the videos have been very dry, but I'm excited to do kind of a new shop tour for y'all when we do end up moving. So this will probably be my last video before the move, and then hopefully after that I can get back into making bi-weekly videos for y'all, just little things. I've got a lot of plans for this truck still, and excited to make them happen. And the new place we're moving to is going to have a much better setup for me to work on vehicles, so that's exciting. So stay tuned for that. Well, we're going to start this one off by just washing the truck because it's pretty dirty. We've had a lot of rain here recently, and just all that fun stuff off the dirt road. But this is a little sneak peek at the new wheels, but we'll go over that more in a minute. To start off, we're going to be using this little cheapo electric pressure washer. It's like 1800 PSI, foam cannon. This will be my first time trying this product, but heard great things about it. Snow foam. Going to use a little bit of the Rain-X on the glass. I picked up this guy today. It's a pole washer kind of deal, so we'll give that guy a spin. Got some little scrub pads for the wheels, and then just my wheel cleaning tool. So nothing special. I'm not a professional detailer. This is just what I'm going to give a shot for on this truck, see if I like it better than the old cleaning product I used to use. So I'm going to set y'all up. We're going to do a little time lapse. Not going to be super exciting, but a little time lapse washing the truck. Then I'm going to sit down with y'all and we're going to go through, well, I'm going to show y'all all around the truck, under the hood, what we've got in it. So if you're new here, stay tuned. Let me wash this thing up and we'll get to the good stuff. Alright, so it's all washed up. I'm soaking wet. It's toasty out here. The thing was literally drying while I was trying to wash it. It's so hard to wash in direct sun in the heat. Anyways though, so hope you all enjoyed a few of those edits. It's nothing fancy. I'm just goofing off, trying to learn, trying to make the videos more entertaining to watch, kind of captivate the audience, make it more fun for y'all. But here's what we got. So it's a 1994. I have said 95 in the past videos, and I apologize for that. On the title, it's a 94. Doesn't matter, same truck, 94 to 95. But it's a 1994 Dodge Dakota, extended cab, rear-wheel drive. I did not do four-wheel drive. I wanted it to be rear-wheel drive only. We've got a little rot there. That's really the only rust. The frame has just, 94 era rust, but no bad rust, no decay, anything like that. we'll just start back here and work our way up since we're back here. We did a 3-inch exhaust all the way back. We have some old style slapper traction bars that I custom made, and I'm super happy how they turned out. Powder coated them forward white. These are the new wheels, so they're 16x8s on all 4 corners with a 235, what was it again? It was 235/60 R16. So that's the tire, that's how it fits. I have 2-inch lowering blocks in the rear, stock coils up front, sits almost perfectly level. Now, for the power plant, we have nothing crazy yet, and I didn't wash under here, so we have a 4.8 liter LS. Now, yes, why would I do a 4.8? Great question. I bought this engine originally designed to go in an MGB that you'll see on my channel as well. Ended up scrapping the whole project and buying the Dakota. Had I known this was the plan from the start, I would have shopped for a 6.0 or a 6.2 liter LS. Same size, dimensions, but a little bit bigger displacement. All that being said, the 4.8 works great. I have no complaints for a naturally aspirated, carbureted, as you can see, V8. This thing does phenomenal. So we're running it off of the MSD LS series 6014 ignition box, which I do have some custom timing in there that I did myself. That's scary. This is a 750 Proform carburetor. I have dual feeds to each float bowl coming from a high pressure regulator from the EFI pump back there. So I am still using the stock EFI pump. I have it stepped down here with a return back to the tank to try to relieve some pressure, and then deadheaded up to this guy at about 6 to 6.5 PSI. That's been working phenomenal. eBay linkage, eBay carb linkage. For now, I just have these breathers on here on the front and the back, which you can't even really see. Yeah, there you go. You can see that one back there. Let's see. Custom battery tray I made myself with my CNC cutter and powder coated. It's getting a little beat up, but it's still in good shape. I remounted the battery over there. Factory, it's like right here, and it's super ugly. So battery back here, a little bit smaller battery, still turns the truck over fine. Factory fuse box, which I want to go through one day. I did do a much smaller brake booster, which works great. Not quite as soft as the factory one, but still works great. Factory master stuff up here. All of that was to clear my aftermarket clutch pedal in there, because yes, this is a manual. So that's really about it under the hood. This is a stock, well, it's a aftermarket aluminum 94 Dodge Dakota radiator with one big electric fan. It does perfectly fine, even sitting in the summer heat. Couple custom aluminum pieces to make my routing easier. That just found a hose at the auto store for that guy. I am running some eBay headers here, which have been working great so far. No leaks. eBay headers down to there. Same on this side. They're shorty headers, and it just all barely fit in there. So same thing over there, eBay header. And then from there, it goes all the way to the back. On that side, I've got a custom Y pipe under there and out 3-inch. So it literally comes off the headers at 3-inch and goes all the way back 3-inch, which I love. It sounds phenomenal. I do have power steering hooked up. No AC, because race car, who needs AC? And if you're wondering what the point of this is, absolutely nothing. It's just something I was goofing with, and I 3D printed a little turbo wheel and stuck it on my oil cap. So now it's incredibly sharp to open, but it looks cool. So I gutted as much stuff out of here as I could. Aftermarket little eBay, radiator overflow coolant tank right here. I ran the light harness wiring behind the fenders just while I was in here doing some quick stuff. So all the wiring for the lights is behind the fenders. There's still some wiring here that could use cleaning up. This whole main harness back here, I'm really not even using. The only thing in this harness that I'm using anymore is just headlight wiring. So you kind of get the gist. I ran a bunch of wires up through the cowling. I still need to come back and put a cover plate over all that. Still a lot of cleanup potential under here. But to kind of keep it short and sweet, that's the gist with this guy. As far as engine work goes, I had the heads decked, just basically resurfaced. It's got ARP studs. Knock sensor delete plate, just a billet one. Obviously the carb intake adapter right there, 750 carburetor. A smaller, lower profile oil pan just to give me plenty of bottom clearance under there. That was not necessary, but I had already bought one for the MGB, so I went ahead and already had it on the truck, and it just have been running that without any issues. I did put a high flow oil pump in because I had an oil pressure issue that ended up not being related to that, but went ahead and just did a nice name brand. I can't remember the name right now, but it's one of the most common LS high performance oil pumps out there, adjustable pressure. So that's been great. Oil pressure's not super high, but I have no idea what mileage is on this engine. Cruising, I'm anywhere, depending on heat and temperature, 35, 40 PSI at like 3,000 RPM. So I'm happy with that. If it lets go, we put in a 6.0. It's kind of my slogan. So, but it's been running great. Powder coated a few parts on this guy while I had it out for the first time. But bottom end, top end are stock. Not true. Top end, I did do some Summit Racing, kind of old generic valve springs that came with this engine. The rest of it is stock. Couple, you know, aluminum billet specialty eBay pieces just to make it look a little bit cleaner. At least that's what I thought. So I tinted the windows myself. So yeah, there's that. I did 2.5% because why the heck not? I have a little bit of bubbling on the bottom of a few of them, but for the $60 Walmart tint job, pretty happy with it. I didn't want to pay to have someone do it right now, just with the move and everything. So figured, well, I'll try it myself, and if I hate it one day, I'll have someone do it or I'll redo it myself. The back is tinted as well, so it's pretty dark in here. It helps a lot since this thing sits in the sun all the time. Now coming into the cab, we've got, so starting from this side over, we've got ignition. So basically this triggers your MSD box to run your timing. And then this is my fuel pump. So if neither of these switches are on, the truck will not start. I did run the fuel pump up to the switch off of the key source because I was having some wiring issues, and I just ended up eliminating that by making it key, or switch, and then key turns the truck on like normal. Turn the key off, and that shuts down the whole truck. So a little bit more of a process than just key on, key off, but I don't mind. I don't mind having the switches up here. It's nice if I need to run my fuel pump for some reason manually or go into the MSD box and change timing. We got a classic phone holder here. Okay, so now I'm trying not to run through this, guys, too fast, but I do understand that this video is already going to be longer than intended since I was doing the car wash. But gauge cluster, we got glow shift gauges, just their factory, like just their kit they've got. So speedometer, which is run off of a GPS sensor since the transmission is aftermarket. RPM gauge, which works. Oil pressure works. Water temperature works. Fuel level will work, but I have not figured out quite how to hook it up to my factory sending unit yet. And then voltmeter works, obviously. And a preface, a lot of guys hate on glow shift, and that's fine. I have had glow shift in this, my Shorty Cummins, my old second gen Cummins, and I have not had a single problem with them. Every once in a blue moon in my Shorty, one of them would take like a second to turn on. Like, it was super little stuff, and they worked phenomenal. I mean, both of my trucks with glow shift have sat outside in extreme heat, extreme cold, don't get driven a ton, sometimes get neglected, and they've been working just fine. I've never even had a sensor fail on one of these things yet, and I had my Shorty for almost 3 years with the glow shift setup. So hate all you want, but you can't touch anything like this for the price other than eBay gauges, and I like these better. So if you're on the fence about doing it, get them. They're cheap. You know, I think this whole kit was like $550, but I've had no problems with them. Very user-friendly. They come pretty much pre-wired other than your sensors, so super simple. I had a Amazon, you know, Wi-Fi touchscreen stereo deal that I pulled out of my old work van that I was getting rid of. And I kind of 3D printed out this trim plate here. AC heat controls, they all work. Obviously, we don't have AC and the heater core is not hooked up yet just because it's summertime. And I just don't want to run the ugly pipes to the heater core, which is on this side of the engine, or this side of the engine, and my heater core lines are over here. So wintertime comes around, we'll take care of that. But the blower fan, everything like that works. Just got a little cigarette lighter, you know, plug adapter here for when I'm driving. Other than that, we've got a manual T5 shifter. Don't look at this whole conglomeration. I just am too cheap to go buy a good shift handle for this. That's like an inch thick rod. So for now, I've got this contraption, but it goes through the gears nice. It has a short throw that I kind of had to custom design to get all that to work. Seats are still factory seats, hopefully not for too much longer. Factory seats, factory door panels. And then this is the clutch pedal setup. I cut this off and re-welded it so it wasn't so long, and it's a little crooked, but it's a little loose, so this needs a little bit of redesigning. But my clutch mount hanger, which y'all if you've been watching the videos you've already seen, that turned out sweet. This guy up here, totally custom, CNC'd it all out with my CNC plasma cutter. Got it all fit up in there, aftermarket slave cylinder, nothing Dakota about this. And then the clutch pedal was just out of a random truck I found in a junkyard. So that still works great. The brake, obviously still here. I trimmed it down just to give my feet a little more clearance. Gas pedals factory, just with the cable to the carburetor. The only thing really to talk about back here is, I believe it was my last video, I just installed this 12-inch sub in the floor with the amp. It works good. It is no competition sound system, but the seat still closes, and I do have a fire extinguisher just in case. I have not needed it yet, thankfully. But that's pretty much about it. 4.8 LS. I did all the work myself. I reused parts that I could reuse to make this an easy swap for down the road. If I went with like a 6.0 LS or a 6.2 or a 5.3, pretty much just unbolt, pull out, bolt back in, slide it back in. T5s are all over the place. I know they're not the strongest transmission, but this one's been doing fine, and I've not been nice to it. Coming soon, I will do like a price out of what it would cost, or what it cost me to build this. Areas I could have cut cost a little bit, areas where I could have spent more and probably should have. I'll do a draw out of all that for y'all in another video. I thought about doing it in this one, but this video is getting way longer than intended, so I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, I'll do like a price breakdown of what this whole deal cost me roughly. I did not price track specifically because it gets depressing, but this was a relatively cheap build. I will get into that in another video. I am working on a blower that'll sit right up here with a draw-through carburetor setup. And that will probably be a few months before I can get back on that because of the move. So hopefully soon we will have a blower on top of this guy with a draw-through carburetor setup. Maybe down the road we'll do a turbo. I want to try the blower first because I've had it in my shed for years, and why not? The beauty of these, I know a lot of guys hate on, oh, another LS swap, that's so boring. I get it, I totally get it. But when you're a guy like me who works full-time, has a family, is buying a house and moving and all that stuff and trying to be smarter with his money, LS are cheap. They are super cheap to buy parts for. I could go to a junkyard right now and get a whole long block for 500 bucks. Sure, unknown mileage. This had unknown mileage, but this came with the transmission. That was one of the other reasons I went with the 4.8, because this had a transmission, slave cylinder, a temporary carburetor, had a lot of stuff that helped me get this up and running in a shorter time frame than it would have if I'd had to piece it all together. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Sorry if it's kind of rushed and short and to the point, but that's really the gist of everything on this truck. If you have any questions, leave a comment, follow, like, subscribe, please. It means a lot. I'm trying to do more, and I don't want to go too far into the future, but I do have a couple other projects up my sleeve that I am considering, and I just got to decide what route I want to go. But this guy is far from done. I've got big plans with it, and I'm hoping to be hitting the drag strip by hopefully next spring, fall, whenever it kind of timing works out. But I do want to get the blower on first, because this without the blower is probably going to run like a 13, 14, maybe. It's nothing special. It's just a truck with a slightly bigger engine than it had in it, but it's a lot of fun to drive. It does rip pretty good with that carburetor, and it's not even fully dialed in yet. So be good, guys, and until next time, share with a friend, someone else who's interested in this. Leave a comment. Peace.